all of the major telecommunication companies, AT&T, Verizon, Google even, they're all cooperating now. Quest, I think, is the only one that hasn't cooperated. Quest. I think I got a letter from them once asking me to sign up. Maybe I should. But the idea, and this is very key, people should realize this, is Bush, Bush, Bush. It's going to become a word in itself. Well, it is a word, but it's going to become a new meaning in the dictionary. But he said in, I think it was 2006 or something, he said that in defending the need for this wiretapping program that the Times had, blown the whistle on, we need this to protect Americans. And he said, we need this to protect Americans so next time we can identify the terrorists like the ones on 9/11 and stop them before they do what they do, especially if they're right here in this country. That's why we need to have some ability to screen and surveil people within this country. I'm paraphrasing, not quoting. But that was the gist of it. Now I want everyone to stop for a second. If you're one of these people who's living in a continual state of fear and paranoia, I think most people have caught on and are just tuning them out. And I hope you are watching the Mets instead or something fun like that. But if you are, or I heard the angst like in Spider-Man 17's voice, and I'm sure you recognize that, but we did identify these terrorists or supposed terrorists of 9/11. I mean, people have to remember that. There was 50, over 75 warnings from a couple FBI agents who one of their main jobs there was to follow a couple of these hijackers. We had them actually on the terror watch list at the time. So the problem wasn't surveillance. The problem was just anyone giving a flying F, about it, or maybe something even more sinister than that. So listen, folks, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. We've had a pretty skilled intelligence community for a long time. They ain't the bumbling fools that they try and make themselves out to be these days to get us off their backs. So yes, that's my prediction. If you want, because you got to realize with this new power that the Congress has given George Bush and the government, even though it's temporary supposedly for 6 months, they can surveil any communication that's from a foreign country, but they can surveil any American as long as one of the participants is not in this country. And of course, YouTube is universal. So, you would have to be a pretty dumb criminal, or as they like to say, terrorist, to come on YouTube and say something. But if they wanted to, they could. They could surveil you or I right now. They could be. We don't really know is the point, And I think that's the security that Americans really yearn for. Is the security to know that someone's not looking over their shoulder at every given moment. They can still have the freedom to express themselves and not have to be so uptight. The real terror here is the terror that we have to watch our backs all the time. And I would say, in that case, that makes George Bush, his administration, and that current Justice Department that, thank God, Alberto Gonzales resigned from, finally, that would make them more of a terrorist to the American public than any guy, a couple thousand miles away shooting rifles up in the air, blowing themselves up. I mean, really, folks. I mean, we have some pretty tight security in this country. Don't be fooled. Anyway, that's my light topic of the day. Think for yourself. I am so tired, I'm going to go to sleep.